Hello, welcome to Encore. I'm George.
The Django.
Django. It's just Django.
The Hudson
No,
Silence.
this is the Spanish version.
And I'm Zacchaeus.
The Django.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
The
so-
Sucker Punch Kids.
if you haven't guessed yet, we're reviewing Django Unchained.
So yeah, we saw Django Unchained. You know, the new Quentin Tarantino movie that Tino did.
Good old Tino.
Following
Good
up
old-
Inglourious Bastards.
And yeah, it was a
I'm
shitty
gonna-
movie. Just straight out 0 out of
Okay,
10.
let's restart.
So Django Unchained. It was really good. I like the movie. I think as a consensus, we all like the movie.
It's
Yeah, it
a
was pretty
consensus that we really like the movie.
So let's just break this down to the jumble of a plot that it sort of has.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, like, as with all Tarantino movies, like, the plot just kind of, like,
It keeps
It
going.
just goes. It just continues on. It's just like development, and then it just kind of ends at some point.
So basically, what happens is
That's a good way to describe it. It did end at some point.
so basically what happened is this bounty hunter that one actor that
Christoph Waltz.
thank you.
Yes.
He was
Played-
awesome. By
Of course
the
he
way.
was.
He was great.
He plays a bounty hunter with some name, and he
He's
buys.
a doctor.
He's a doctor too.
Dr. Schultz, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he buys Django, who is part of like this little slave train that's being transferred somewhere, and he buys him because he's going to go and take a bounty on his previous owners, and after they do that, they start making a deal to go and do more bounties.
Talent. He sees a talent.
Pretty
in the
much,
kid.
yeah.
They make a deal to go and do more bounties, and then upon that deal to also rescue Django's wife. And that's basically the movie. You know, obviously, Django gets the girl in the end, but it's just
And of
spectacular.
course the girl speaks German, and what is the guy who's with him? German! Oh, wow, what a coinky
It's
dink.
wacky. And Leonardo DiCaprio plays like a really prickish.
Calvin Candy, the
prickish
plantation owner,
plantation
slave
owner.
owner.
Candyland.
He was really, really good. There's this one.
Everyone in this movie was fantastic.
I need to bring it up just because it was probably my favorite scene in the movie. There's this one scene where there's just a really intense like dialogue, like pretty much
Yelling.
Leonardo DiCaprio's character just screaming at him, and there's a point where he cuts open his hand, and it's like you can see his hand is just completely covered in blood, but like. I read it before I saw the movie, but apparently, like, this wasn't intentional in any way. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio just accidentally cut open his hand, but he didn't break character at all. So that's why they kept filming and whatnot, and why he has, like, bandages in the next scene, because that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. And, like, it was just really powerful, because it was clear that Leonardo DiCaprio's character, like, he wasn't just, like this regular villain kind of just brooding character. He was a businessman. That's all he was.
and then
And
when
he
someone
makes the
tries to
deal
cross
at
him,
the end.
if anything, he was pretty polite too. Outside of like obviously when he knew they were trying to screw him, he got angry.
Pretty
But,
pissed.
but for the most part, I thought he was like really like.
I was surprised that he still went through with the deal.
I-
He changed it, but he still did a deal and was very willing to part with it.
He still got the money in the end.
I'm
which is
surprised he
nice
didn't
a
ask for
businessman.
the 1200 for Joe, the Joe fighter dude that they were originally gonna do.
No, well, they found out that
I know,
was,
but I'm just saying. I'm just surprised that wasn't just sort of slipped in there because that character felt like he would have done that.
See, I feel like I would have liked that, but only like at the end, just like, oh, should have taken Eskimo Joe or something, like Django to his wife.
Or you see Eskimo Joe just, hey, wait up!
Wait, aren't supposed to come with you guys?
He's actually an Eskimo.
So there's a lot of really good things about this movie. I mean, there's scenes that just stick out, and
There's a lot of the N-word.
Yeah, that comes up a lot.
but I mean, it's all for comical effects. I mean, at times it feels like they just threw around because they knew it was going to be funny, which it was.
I don't even.
But I
think
mean, it
they were
also
doing
works
it
for the time period as well.
That's what I was gonna say. Honestly, that's how it was in that time period. Like, I mean, it was just thrown around like.
I mean,
that.
it's sort of like Blazing Saddles. How like there's that scene where they're just like throwing the
nobody
N-word,
move,
like
but the N-word gets it. I'll do it. I'm crazy.
it's just one of those films that they know what happens in that period. They make fun of it, but also there's times where it takes it seriously. And it's fantastic, all the way. My only complaint that I have about this movie is that there are scenes that tend to drag on a little past their expiration date, so to speak. But then at the same time, immediately after those scenes, it picks up really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So it works out, but you can't see it, and it's extremely noticeable.
For me, it was these slow-mo shots. I thought the slow-mo shots were
I didn't
a
even
bit cheap.
realize any
No,
slow-mo.
no. I just felt like, because like slow-mo in this day and age, like you can see every single movement.
Mm-hmm.
With this movie, I found like it felt really like, and I guess maybe he did it, like Tarantino did it on purpose, so that like it looked aged, like the film itself. But like the slow-mo scenes they do, they just feel like really rickety. Like they look like something that would be in a '90s direct-to-TV movie kind of.
Well, another thing is that if you notice, they did a lot of the dramatic zoom in. Somebody
I was
turns
gonna say
around
that.
and there's a zoom right into their
I was
face.
going to say that.
But that's
and-
for the old western kind
Yeah,
of like.
and then-
well, that's
you
what
know,
the movie's trying to be, though. It's trying to be like
that
a
slow
tribute
motion.
to it, in a
That
sense.
slow motion is also a testament to that, and the fact that, what else are you going to do when a guy's falling off his horse? You want to see the guy falling off his horse in slow motion.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but like I don't know, like just for me, like, but they didn't do that in that sort of way. Like they didn't have those sort of scenes. It was mainly like the slow mo scenes I'm talking about were more like to end scenes, more or less. Where
Like
just
in
kind of
those big
people
action
walking, and
moments.
it's just, and I don't know, it just feels. It doesn't flow as nicely as I would like it to, and again, it could be an homage to like old
The
westerns
classics
and
and all
whatnot.
that, which it probably is.
Which it probably is, but for me, it just kind of distracted me a smidgen. I mean, again, like great movie. I really can't say anything super bad against it besides like super nitpicky stuff. I thought it was well put together.
All in all, it is a really fantastic movie.
My only nitpick point is that it just felt like sometimes montages was used as filler. Like, if you notice, there was a lot of montages of him riding and stuff, or like them riding together, and
I'll defend that only with Red Dead Redemption, because like those were my favorite like moments in Red Dead, where it was just me just kind of on the landscape, kind of looking out and just going like, oh, I got some bitches to kill. Like I like that sort of Western sort of persona.
But I
to it.
felt-
It's the
felt
staple
like-
of a western. Is
Yeah.
those kind of scenes.
I know,
Long
but
range
I
kind
didn't
of
feel like
feel
you
to it.
needed to have like 3 or 4 of them in the movie. Like they have
That's
one
true,
at the
yeah.
start, and they have one when they team up and become actual bounty hunters. Then they have one when they're heading towards Candyland, and then they have one when he's heading back to Candyland. Spoilers: he heads back to Candyland. Sounds like a kids movie. Django heads back to Candyland. Not a kids movie.
Hasbro does a deal with Quentin Tarantino to make a different edition.
The board game.
There's an action figure where Django, like you can clearly see the blood, like giant bloodshot coming out of the other guy's
It's
chest.
a new Candyland board, and the board is Candyland from the film. You gotta go through the cotton field now.
That's dark. That's dark.
Move 5 spaces, and then get whipped.
I'm trying to imagine Django in the molasses swamp. I just,
But all in all, it was a
4 out of 5
fantastic movie.
stars. I don't know. I mean,
4 out of 5.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
Flip out.
movie, well casted. Little nitpicky parts, but I can't. This movie better. This movie definitely has made.
I will say
made a reason
that-
why it was nominated for Best Picture.
Oh
of the year.
yeah, for sure. Honestly, I mean, like I saw the other huge contender for like the Oscar for Best Picture, Les Mis, obviously, and I thought it was better than Les Mis. I mean, again, I'm not really a huge musical person, but I thought they did a pretty great.
I'll
job on
be
it.
interested to see what the Oscars do this year.
I'm curious. Yeah.
I stopped watching them after they got rid of the animation being important. So, so yeah, this
That's only because Pixar has sucked for the past like few years, though. In defense,
There's been
I
like
thought
no
Cars 2 and Brave, and now Monster U.
okay. Cars 2 doesn't count because no one cares about Cars.
It still counts though. They still.
Brave
This is
was
the
well
film-
received though, wasn't it?
It was okay. It wasn't great. It didn't have the same sort of grip that like WALL-E did or Toy Story 3 did. I'm
Well, it's not
not
honored to be WALL-E or Toy Story 3.
I'm aware of that. No, I'm talking about quality though. I'm not talking about like the same movie. Yeah, no. I paid like $10 a year to go see WALL-E. Yeah, sure, why not?
it was a real Scottish girl, not a robot this time.
This is enough. Where's the old man in this flying suit? Okay, so yeah, Django Unchained. D silent.
4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah,
Like
8 out of 10.
I give this a 9 out of 10 because my nitpicks were nitpicky, but I mean, it was a fantastic movie. I can't wait for this to come out to see all the little extra features and shit about how they made it. That shit. Go see it. You probably have seen it, but go see it again.
I noticed the Quentin